Hey, and good morning. Welcome to the 388 Racing Podcast. This morning, I have finally been able to wrangle Jacob Crossman into a coming on and doing a podcast with me. Me and Jacob have been talking for like a year now to try and get this done, and he's a busy guy. So when he offered to do it this morning at 9:30, I said, "Yeah, not a problem." And the good thing is, it's 1 week before the Loudon Classic. So, Jacob, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself? Um, Give us a little bit of background information, when you started riding bikes, and how you get into racing, and then we'll go from there.
Cool. My name's Jacob Crossman. I'm 20 years old. I live in Tilton, New Hampshire, so just 20 minutes north of Loudon, so pretty local. I started racing, riding a bike. I'd say in 2015. It's probably just like it was a KLX 110 that I had, and then my mom was working with Ben Blotty's mom, and she made me come to the track and watch Ben ride, and I said I want to do that. So then I rode Ben's bike for a summer, in like 2018, I believe, and I got my own on a 150R, and then I raced Supermoto at Box Shop from 2018 and 2020. And then, but that 2020 season, my parents got me a 300 because they thought it'd be best for me to go to the bigger track. So after that, I kind of rode in like the satellite of Penguin, just being a young kid at the track, headed right next to him in the garage. And then me and Renee Franco really were like we started at the same exact time on 300s, and then went to 400 at the same time, and then we were on the Penguin team together. Um, really progressed ever since then. Eric Wood was like my mentor. He still is, I feel like. Um, but he just shaped me into like a perfect motorcycle racer. I feel like I had no bad habits, so it was just all the information I just took in and used it, and it worked out good for me.
Yeah, Eric's a mentor for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and the Penguin program for the young kids coming up, he really gets them in the right frame of mind, and also, like you just said, the bad habits. He's been doing it a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a professional racer himself. So yeah, Eric, and he's still out there,
Whooping
whacking on
on us.
those. Oh yeah, he's still out there
Yeah.
whacking on those crazy lap times. And what better mentor to have than somebody that's there all the time?
Yep. Literally.
So you did the 300s, you did the 400s. What prompted you to go into Moto America?
Um, Being on the Penguin team, and like I was always looking up to Ben and Teague, and they were racing Junior Cup. And it was me, Brianna, and Renee, and we were all just Eric Wood was in our minds saying like, once you get to 18s, you can try Moto America race. So all three of us were going right after it, and we all got to the 18s, and my parents really thought it was cool. So we went and raced Junior Cup with Bart on at Jersey for a round. I think I came in like 11th, I'd like to say 11th and 12th, I think. So it was all right. That was the only Junior Cup race I've ever done. And after that, I kind of realized like I'm kind of big for a 400, I thought. And the next year, we still rode the 400 at Loudon, just did local stuff. And then the R660 came out, and Ben was riding for Robum that year. So I was still in the 400, but I was traveling around with Ben a little bit, and Robum let me ride one of their bikes after VIR. So I rode the small track in VIR. That's the first time on a big bike. I say big bike. It's a twin, and really fell in love with that bike. And my parents thought it was the best decision. Let's try to move up to that and see what we can do with that. And I raced twins. Raced the twin at Loudon for a season. I did all right. I think I was only doing 14s on it, and
Only 14s on an
well,
RS.
considered, like I've done a 12 on it, so 14s
Exactly.
are a little bit slower, but fast enough to go to Twins Cup. Eric thought. So then we put on a privateer to try Twins Cup out, and I believe we only did Jersey that year, and I think it was I finished ninth place, and it was pretty like cool to see. Like I was up there and I was able to compete, but we had a stock bike at the time, and no, I'm mistaken. We did Barber. Barber was our first round out, and that's where I placed ninth. I got 11th at Jersey. Um, but we had a stock bike at Barber, and I blew the trans in it. And then after that, we kind of got in touch with Robum. I flew out to Robum. Well, they took my bike home. I flew out there. I spent a couple days with them, and then really hung up with Matt from Robum and built my engine and made a really good connection with him. And we were hoping to get a ride out of it and see if I can go full season in Twins, but it just didn't really work out. And after that, just raced local, and and then 3D Motorsports came around, and mainly because I was pretty much set to ride for Robum, and then I couldn't. So we were kind of scrounging up, like, what could I do to do a full season? And 3D came around, and it was sick because I got to go to Texas. I got to ride a whole bunch down there, and then traveling the country. Probably the best thing that racing ever did for me. That's probably the coolest is just going to all the states and racing.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, and people need to realize too that you have to have some talent in a short period of time to go from where you started on the pit bike racing stuff
Mm,
to Moto America, and you're only 20 years old. That's a very short period of time, and
yeah.
that speaks a lot for your riding abilities, your talent, and also the mentorship that you were getting from Eric, um, and the help from Robum, and just learning the stuff. Was it a big shock going from your local club races to Moto America?
It wasn't that big of a shock just because we were traveling around quite a bit before I went to Moto America, and we were going to the races and watching and hanging out in the pits and whatnot. So I kind of just blended right in. But it was pretty nerve wracking going out for the first time on track.
Yeah, and there's a pretty big expense too. Like you said, you privateered that first time
Yeah,
out, and
yeah,
it's not a cheap venture whatsoever.
uh
Uh,
huh,
and as you found out, a stock bike, you know, privateer going up against these teams
yeah,
that have got built engines, and they spend a lot of time
right,
developing things. I mean,
yeah, and a
I've
lot
got
of
some
testing.
Robum. I've got a lot of Robum parts on my bike. Of course,
Yeah,
the motor's still stock, but a lot of the other stuff that they came up with just to help get the RS660s, track ready.
right, performing better. Yeah,
So you did the 3D. Did you do a full season with them?
yeah, I did do a full season of Twins Cup. Yeah,
So you've been all the way West Coast.
yeah, yeah. We did the Ridge and Laguna that year,
I'm
and it
freaking
was
so jealous.
the Ridge is really cool. Laguna was a little bit harder to learn than I thought it would be for being such a short track. But I didn't. I forget what I placed in Laguna, but I wish I had more track time there. The Monday after, I got to ride with Ducati, and it was a lot more fun on a bigger bike because I got to ride the V2 and the V4, and I think Laguna was really fun on the V4.
Yeah,
But
I can
out west was,
imagine.
was hard. It was expensive. That was the big thing about out west. It was expensive.
So we've actually had quite a few people come out of Niemer um, that have gone into the Moto America.
Yeah,
T. Cobbs, Ben Glotty, uh, just to name two that are on the younger spectrum. There's a bunch. Renee, I think Adam Mascaro also did
yeah,
some Moto America stuff, and
yeah,
yourself. It's just great to see some of the local talent from up here in the Northeast uh,
yeah, yeah. It's
go to the
crazy.
go to the per se big show, the
Yeah,
Moto
yeah,
America stuff.
yeah,
And there's a lot of other stuff that you have to do, not only just getting on the bike and racing. I mean, you've got all the media stuff you have to do, and the
mm,
photographs and all that stuff. What's that like?
It's pretty stressful. It kind of feels like a job almost, and that's kind of what. After that full season of Twins Cup, I kind of felt pretty burnt out after it. It was a lot of stress and a lot of money and a lot of time involved, and I think it's stressful. I think this year we kind of took a step back, and last year too, just having fun again. So I've been less active on social media. My mom still has access to my racing account, so she still helps me out and makes posts for me because I'm not always there, not too active on it anymore.
Yeah,
But
well, I mean, like I said, it was. I've been trying to pin you down now for quite a while
yeah,
because your dad mentioned, oh, you should do an interview with Jacob, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love to, but he's a busy guy.
I've been trying. He says.
We've
yeah,
been talking about it, and we're finally getting it done, which is
yeah,
great. I
yeah.
don't
I thought
know.
perfect day was today.
Let me bring up the chat. I don't know if anybody's in there. Let's see. How do I do this? Boom. We can throw that over there. If anybody's in the chat and you have any questions while we're talking here, let me throw this up real quick. 1 week away, guys. Loudon Classic, 102nd running, $400,000 in total race winnings. Uh, that's a lot of beans out there
There's a
up
lot
for
of coins.
grabs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy to think about. I mean, I have a goal. I have a set. I have a number set in my mind, which is a goal, which I think is reasonable. But with all three bikes, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, because you're doing three of the pro races.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a number set to hopefully achieve, but it's gonna be a busy weekend. But
Yeah,
luckily, I was worried that they're gonna be pretty back to back, like they're gonna be a little bit faster. Because last year they're pretty close in time. They didn't have much time between races, and looking at the schedule, they spaced it out pretty good. It looks like for stunt shows and then water breaks and whatnot. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal doing all three races. I thought it would be pretty stressful, but which don't get me wrong, it's going to be stressful. We have a couple mechanics coming and helping us and a rider coach and whatnot, and it's Tyler Sweeney and then Mike Skronik is going to be with us for the weekend. So just have to get three bikes to be up to date on, and me and my dad can't do it all.
yeah. So you're riding the R6 in the Classic,
Yeah,
the
and then
660 and Thunderbike,
yeah, and then a KTM 890 Duke in the Street Fighter class.
the Street Fighter class. Yeah,
Yeah,
that the Street Fighter class, and that's new this year.
yeah. It came out of left field. I thought I wasn't ready for that to come out. I was really expecting a motard class, honestly.
Yeah, that would have been another option.
It would have
I
been
think
such a hectic race.
I think the Street Fighters may draw a little more from the Harley Davidson crew.
Yeah, yeah. And with Bike Week and whatnot, I think the Street Fighter will definitely bring in more attention. I feel like for sure.
Yeah, because it seems to mirror the hooligan class from
Yeah,
Moto
yeah.
America.
It's pretty darn close. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I,
That's where my bike came from.
yeah, I think it's going to. I think we're going to get a better draw. I mean, the bagger class that it was a great concept, but we
Yeah,
had like nobody show up.
yeah. I think it was a little. I don't know. Like came together too quick, and like baggers last year. That was their third year running, I think, in Moto America. But we're so far away, and I feel like all the baggers are out west. I think that's another problem. Like the bagger racing league, like most of that stuff's all in Willow Springs and out west. So I think it's hard for people to say, let's go to New Hampshire where Tyler O'Hara is going to race, and we're just a club racer, and we can win maybe 10 grand or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It
I
is
don't think.
it was tough.
And Tyler really didn't have anything nice to say about the track either after the fact.
No, I heard about that.
So
Yeah,
that you know, I personally I don't think he should have anything to bitch about because he walked away with a
yeah.
puck.
Quite a bit of money. Yeah, because
So
Because he raced Blake Davis's R6 in the Classic too, and he finished it in 14th, and I finished in 15th. He rode together, and so he had that money and the bagger money. So he made out pretty good that weekend to be complaining.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. Let's face it, Loudon is a very different type of track than most, and
yeah, yeah,
you've ridden all across the country now.
yeah,
Uh, at 20 years old, again, the experience that you have and everything with your riding, and the talent that you continue to show. Last round, you did pretty well. I was looking at some of the results. You can, I don't even remember all the races you were in last round, but
yeah. It was an all right round. I ended up the valve in my R6. I believe it didn't drop, but something happened. So I didn't. We had to replace the valve, the head. But so I didn't get to race my R6 on Sunday, so only on Saturday. And it was an all right weekend, but it was the first weekend really riding on the KTM, and then the 660. I think always performs, like you said, it's so reliable. So we don't really worry about the 660 so much, but the R6 and the KTM, that was our focus for the weekend, and fortunately broke the R6, and it was just again lack of maintenance for me. We were running pretty hot fuel in it, and I didn't. I didn't. I should have ran some 50-1 through it, and I didn't. So I ended up breaking some
and
stuff.
you were probably wringing the neck out of it as well. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not like the twin. Well, I guess I take it back. It's completely opposite of the twin. So the twin you can lug right around. In the R6, you
yep.
gotta stay right in the RPMs.
Yeah. So that's good. So you got the three. Are you doing any of the club races as well, or?
Through the weekend, yeah, I'll probably do like probably 5 races Saturday, and then Sunday. I'm assuming probably just gonna take it easy because I'll be there Wednesday, Thursday for Penguin, and then race Friday, and then we got the Classic, and probably just do a couple races on Sunday, just fun ones.
Well,
So
you got to do the dash for cash.
yeah, have to
I
do
mean,
that one.
that's you
Can't say
have to do
no.
that. We
Yeah, I
because
forgot they put that to Sunday. Yeah,
yeah, Sunday last
yeah.
race. It'd be a good way to finish out the weekend.
Finish out the weekend for sure. Another couple $100 maybe.
Because I mean, we've got a lot of good contenders
Yeah,
local to
yeah.
us. A lot.
Uh-huh.
You can never count out Eric Wood.
No, never.
You can never count him out because
No.
he is just he's Eric Wood. What can I
Yeah,
say?
yeah. He's just
But
him.
I mean, you've got Teague, you've got Ben.
I'm not sure if you can hear me. Huh. Can you hear me?
All right, you should be able to hear me now.
Yep. Yep. I got you now.
All right, yeah, we had something happened here, and everything just disconnected and then
Oh,
reconnected.
really?
I'm on a
Huh.
Mac, so it's usually I don't have any problems. But yeah,
Gotcha.
like I was saying, we've got some fast folks that are going to be part of that. You got uh, Teague, Ben, of course, Eric. Um, there's just so many people that are going to be there.
There is.
The one
Yeah.
thing I don't like is we can't see who signed up.
Yeah.
Uh,
They sent out the last year the entry list was out, but I didn't see it this year, so I'm
yeah,
not
I
sure.
haven't either. And when they
Yeah.
changed our registration procedures to that new system, it
Yeah.
used to be you could go on there and look and see who had signed up for the
Right.
classes.
Right. Yep.
But we can't do that now. And good morning, Chiz. I got somebody in the chat. Um, yeah, it's early morning thing, so there's probably not very many people up
Yeah.
and around. And again, I'm going to rebroadcast this
Right.
afternoon
Right.
as a premiere, just to get it out there.
Yeah.
Uh, Predictions for the classic.
Ooh.
Well, we don't know who's coming. First off,
I mean, I got to I mean, I know the whole M4 team's coming, and I know Hayden Gillum's going to come back. Um, Trying to think of other people at the top of my
do you
head.
think Teague's teammate? You think he's coming?
I don't think Teague's racing one of John Grush's bikes, I believe. Teague's Moto America team isn't coming. I believe they're out of California.
Yeah,
So,
it would have been nice to see Josh Hayes come up.
yeah, I mean, who knows? He was there last year, I believe. So, yeah. Or the first year? He was there the first year. I
I
remember,
think he was there the first year,
yeah, testing
but
tires with him.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
maybe. That'll be cool if he comes back.
I can remember Josh uh, way back in the '90s when he was first
Oh,
getting
yeah.
started doing club racing. We used to see him all the time down south at the
That's
tracks,
crazy.
and he's still out there, winning races.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe it. It's really good for him, though.
It is, it is, it's very good. Um, I don't know. I don't have any predictions. I mean, you
I
got
feel like,
Eli. Eli gets that carrot out there in front of him, and he
yeah,
is
I'm
just like
pretty
that.
sure he's on a KTM 790 is what he's going to race. I think that's what the bike he's racing, which is crazy, but he can go fast on anything. So
Yeah, yeah,
we'll
yes,
see.
he can.
Yeah.
He's uh, he's unbelievable,
Uh huh.
and I mean we've got some past winners um, whose name escapes me right at the moment. Um,
Well, we got Tyler Scott and Hayden Gillum both coming. Um,
yeah,
who won the first year of it?
who's got the most wins?
Shane Narbonne, of course.
Yeah, Shane. That's who I. For some reason, I couldn't remember his name for nothing.
Oh, yep,
But
yep.
yeah, Shane will be there.
And
He'll
he's on
definitely.
his Chickser too. He got a new bike this year. He's racing the Street Fighter class on a 765 as well. So we'll have him to compete against as well. Crazy. I don't know. I feel like one of the M4 guys might get it this year. Maybe Sean and Kelly. I'm really not sure.
So they're bringing the whole team.
Whole team. Yeah. Richie, Sean, Tyler Scott. I don't know if Max Van's coming or not.
So
But
it'll be good to see that.
yeah.
I'd like to
Uh-huh.
see some more moto. Well, I'm really surprised there aren't more.
Yeah, I think Moto America doesn't really agree with the classic, I don't think. So it's kind of so many of the top riders are against coming here, and so I think that's the biggest problem. But I don't know about who's gonna win. I think it'll be one of the N4 guys. I mean, Tyler ran a 9. Like, you don't see that.
He did. He
Like, I
did.
talk to Tyler sometimes, and for some reason he loves Loudon. So it's good for him that he likes Loudon, but it's definitely not the
But
best track out
it's
there.
not an easy track to learn.
Yeah, yeah, you have to.
It's
It just has to fit you, I think, for sure.
it's pretty technical. You have some elevation changes, and you definitely have some differences in the pavement between the
Yeah,
NASCAR and off NASCAR, and
yeah,
um, you have to be comfortable with the bike moving around a lot.
uh huh.
Um, so yeah, it's not for everybody, that's for sure. But
No, I think Loudon is the best training track almost to get you ready for any of the tracks you go to, just because it's kind of got everything there, and everything you can really worry about at a track. Loudon has it, so you kind of you go to another track and like, wow, I got so much room, But Loudon prepares you for every track, I think, and I love riding Loudon, but I like traveling. But I say I like traveling. I wish I could just teleport there though. You won't see me driving around very much.
yeah, yeah, well, and we're kind of isolated up here in the Northeast
Uh
anyway.
huh.
We've The closest thing we've got is Jersey, which
Yeah.
since our season ends up really early this year,
Yeah,
uh,
it does. Yeah.
I'm thinking the last weekend of August, I might go down and ride New Jersey with Azra
Cool.
and
Cool.
then I'm definitely going to go to Daytona in October and run the
Yeah,
ASRA race.
yeah. We
I
almost
haven't,
went last year, but just didn't end up going.
yeah, I haven't been on Daytona since '98.
So you're
So
due to go back.
yeah, I'm asked to go back, and I need to go back before I can't go back.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
you know, when you get to be my age, it's not so much the bucket list; it's just reliving the past at this point.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, it'd be fun. Especially, it'd be fun to get out there on the RS. I'm
Yeah,
sure I'm going to
yeah.
have
That's
to.
that's the last bike I rode at Daytona was the RS. I want to go there and ride a super sport bike though. I think that'll be a blast.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain the G forces and all of that
Yeah,
being
the
up on the
feeling.
banking.
Yeah, I thought the R6 was. I mean, I thought the RS660 was fast there, but it'd be pretty cool if we get to take my R6 and see how fast it really goes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure I'm going to have to change all of my gearing for sure,
For sure.
and probably I don't know. Uh, my suspension's pretty stiff for Loudon just because it's Loudon.
It's loud. Yep.
Yeah, I probably will have to come off the suspension a little bit.
All right. I think once we leave loud, we soften up. So
Yeah, just about any other track you go to, you pretty much have
yeah.
to soften up. Have you ever been to
Uh-huh.
Roebling Road?
No, no, that's
You should go
one of the
try that
ones.
track.
I know. Blake Davis rides there a lot, and my girlfriend's dad tells me. Well, Abby's my girlfriend Abby is Blake Davis' sister, so whenever I go down to Virginia, they're always like, "You got to come down in the winter, and when we go riding, you got to come with us because
Yeah, yeah.
they go
Go
down
go
there a
ride
lot."
Roebling. That was my old home track. I used to
Is
have a
it?
house. I had a house. If you ever go there, and as you go through turn two, look off to the left. You can see the houses over there. I owned one of those houses.
Oh, geez,
I
that's
was that
sweet.
close to the track,
Yeah,
and
that's dangerous.
it was pretty awesome. It was pretty because we used to have a lot of race weekend parties at the house,
Oh, yep.
and had a lot of fun there. Made a lot of good friends and a lot of fun there.
Yeah,
Although
sounds
I
like it.
did get banged up pretty good in 23 before the season started, but that's water under the bridge now.
Yeah, yep,
Uh,
in the past.
but definitely looking forward to going back to Daytona in October. It
Mm,
should be a lot of fun, and
yep.
I'm going to see if I can get some other people to go down too.
Yeah, there's usually a pretty good group of Nemer that goes down there. I feel like they keep it pretty local, and Avs is putting on a good season so far. So
Yeah,
see how they
yeah,
go. Avs just seems to be pretty impressive this year and have
yeah.
them running good stuff.
I'm really surprised they don't race at Roebling. Um, the old
Hmm.
CCS before they changed over. Uh,
Yep.
my last amateur season, I mean, they had like two or three races there for the Southeast region,
Uh huh.
and I think it was 97 is when I won a couple of Southeast region championships, and then bumped to
Gotcha.
expert. And but Roebling was one of them, and Little Talladega, and it
Yeah.
was right about the time Homestead was being built.
Gotcha.
That was a brand new track way back when.
Really? Yeah.
So
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, so Daytona's definitely. I'm definitely going to want to do it. Any
Hmm.
words of wisdom for New Jersey?
For Jersey, I mean, that's like one of my closer to favorite tracks. I like Jersey a lot. You never ridden there?
Never ridden there. This will
Oh, well,
be,
you're gonna love it. The last corner is a crazy feeling, especially on a twin. Uh, you're able to hold it right wide open through it when we were racing back there. Same with the 400s. It's a crazy feeling to having your knee down, wide open, going over 100. Um, so
yeah.
last corner is probably the craziest one.
I've been watching lots of onboard videos at
Yeah,
Jersey, and
it's
I've
a
been
pretty
watching
flowy track.
all the different classes too. I've been watching some of the
Hmm.
twins. I've been watching some of the super bikes.
Sweet.
So it's given me a different lines and so on
Yeah,
and so forth. So that'll be some good viewing before I go, but
sweet.
definitely going to go the end of August,
That'd be
and
awesome.
then I don't know if I'm going to do anything between that and October. I might try and get somewhere.
Nice.
I don't know what else they got, but yeah, our season ends up really early this year.
Yeah,
There's
but we
still
still
a
got
lot
six
of
rounds in, so I feel like 6 rounds is pretty good. Because I
yeah
know
six
it was almost only 5 rounds this year, so 6 rounds is pretty good, I think.
and kudos to John and them for
Keep going.
really keeping it
Hmm.
going and
Yeah.
keeping the pressure on.
Uh huh. And I think it's like most clubs, they travel to different tracks and whatnot, but we stay pretty local. I know we used to go down to Jersey, have a round at Jersey every year, but I kind of like how we stay local and it's legit. Like I think one of the closest racing groups we got out there, just because everybody's so friendly and we all
Well,
just
everybody knows everybody too.
everybody knows everybody at the track. Yeah, and if you don't know someone, there's a problem because it's pretty hard not to know someone there.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Yep.
take long either because everybody, as you said, it's everybody's super friendly.
Yep.
Everybody they'll go out of their way to help you.
Uh huh.
If you have problems or you need
Right.
something.
Right. And it's still tight racing on the track, but everybody has respect for each other out there, and we're not all
Yeah, yep,
taking each other out.
yeah, exactly. Because I know a couple of the races we start ahead of all you kiddies, and
Yeah.
usually within the second lap, Renee's whizzing by, and you guys are whizzing by, and always very polite on the passes. But I hold my line. I don't do anything crazy.
Right.
Uh,
Exactly. That's all you got to
I just need to get faster.
do. No big deal. It's just club racing, having fun.
That's it. And this year, I'm just planning on just having fun.
That was our plan too. That was our plan. Granted, at the classic, so that's a little bit stressful, but kind of just relaxing, really. But been thinking about like I saw Twins is going to Jersey again, and Twins is also going to VIR again. So maybe if we do good enough at the classic, we can put something together.
That's a good possibility because there's
Yeah.
still half season left.
Uh huh.
And yeah. So what are your goals for the three races coming up?
I want to be up at least. I need to do better than I did last year in the classic. That's my main thing. Like 15th is all right, but I want to be further up there. I feel like I'm better than that.
So we're,
So
we're shooting for a top 10.
yeah, goal is top 10. I'll be happy with top 12. I think. Just knowing some people that are out there. Street Fighter class, I have no clue, man. I know a handful of people that are racing it, and goal again. I think top 8 is a good goal for Street Fighter class, and then of course I want to win the Super Twins class again, just because won last year. And there's not as much money up for the Super Twins, so or
Yeah,
Thunderbike. It's called Thunderbike.
Thunderbike.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah,
Thunderbike. Super
Thunderbike.
Thunderbike.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, but there's still that paycheck at the end of the day.
uh
So
huh.
that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see you win that. I'd like to see you, top five, both the other ones.
That'd be
I
sweet.
think you've got the capability. I know that.
Yeah,
Um,
I just
and
need to
we
do it.
talked about this before we started too. You kind
Hmm.
of, it's almost like you get a little lazy when there's no pressure on you.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I feel like every race weekend, the only pressure I really feel is for the dash at the end of the day, and even then, I haven't performed too well in the dash this year. I mean, we kind of had weird races, and then my R6 broke, so I raced the Aprilia. Um, but I want to win a dash this year. I won one last year, but I should be up there more often. I shouldn't be finishing where I am. So got some work to do for there. I think after the classic, the goal is like I'll be upset if I'm not top 3 in the dash. So
Yeah, yeah. Keeping you just and I know it's hard sometimes to keep your head down and keep pushing.
yeah, you just gotta
Uh,
grind.
yeah, it gets hard at times.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I'd love to see you do really well and put something together for the rest of the season. That'd
be
be
cool.
fantastic.
Yep.
Um, so I'm not. I got no other questions, and again, we really don't have anybody in the chat that's had any questions. early morning, but I don't mind doing it in the morning. Like I said, I would have done it at 2 a.m. if that was the only time you were available, because I've been trying to get you on here for a while,
I
and
know,
I
and
haven't
I know I
really.
told you. I told you last round. I was like, I'm gonna text you next
Yeah,
weekend. I never texted you,
no, you
but
didn't. And then
but
when you sent me
I
that
thought today was
message,
perfect.
yeah, we're one week out from the big race.
Yeah, and
Um,
nothing going on today, so figured a nice
yeah,
conversation's
and I've
perfect.
been really slack with my channel. I haven't really been doing much of anything. Um, I know last year before the classic, John came on.
Yeah,
He hasn't reached out this year, but he's been doing other things. So
you're right.
and
He's been busy. He's been really busy
oh
talking
yeah,
to him.
I can only
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
how
His
busy
whole
he's
life's
been.
on pause right now, and I can't believe the amount of stress he has over his head. Because right
And it's
now
not.
the weather looks a little weird for the classic, and I'm just
Well,
hoping
I'm keeping my
tickets
fingers
sell.
crossed. It was last time I looked, it was only like a 20%.
Yeah,
So
this
it's
morning
kind of
I saw it was
shifting.
just cloudy. That's all. That's the percentage went away, thankfully. But we'll see. It's Loudon. It's
It's yeah.
Loudon in June.
Well, it
There's
creates
always
its own weather
showers.
sometimes.
Yeah, sure does. There's just some sort of weather belt that goes through there. It's a weird one for sure.
Definitely is. All
Yeah.
right. Any parting words of wisdom for anyone, or hey, if anybody out there, whether you watched it here live or you watched the premiere rebroadcast, um, if anybody wants to get involved and help out or sponsor, uh, it's not a cheap endeavor for these young guys to get out there and do this professional racing. So, either reach out to me and I'll get you in touch with them, or do a social media search and find some of these young racers and give them a little bit of support. It would be greatly
Always
appreciated.
appreciated. Always.
I know it is. It's not, everybody thinks because you're at Moto America, you're getting a paycheck when
No,
it's
no,
just the opposite.
no. That full season we did in Twins Cup. That was a lot of money and effort. So forever appreciative of my father because he put out a lot for me, and it's our hobby together. So he's
Bonding time.
fine. He's fine with it. So I appreciate him a lot. So I'm very grateful.
Well, and we just love watching you guys out there. It's great to see the young talent coming up.
There's a
All
lot of
right,
it, especially in Loudon.
there is. There's a ton of talent coming out of Loudon. So
Hmm.
with that, unless anybody's got any questions, which we haven't had any, I appreciate everybody tuning in, watching the video. Again, come on out to the. Let me show this one more time. The Loudon Classic, the 102nd running, 13th through the 15th of June. That's 1 week away. So please, by all means, come out. You can come right into the pitch. You can talk to the riders. You can, get up close and personal, see all the bikes, and it's a great family atmosphere, and everybody has a good time. Lots of
Hmm.
money on the table, and I hope this young man walks away with a pocket full.
That's my goal. Thank you for having me on.
And thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
All right, sweet. I will see you in